on. I'm letting the heat kick on, so it might get a little loud as always. But we left off on making the bracket for the caliper. And I ordered a guide, or a tensioner, should say, for that chain, so it doesn't have that hop, keep a little tension on it. But yeah, so we're gonna get on this caliper mount and get it going. I gotta get some heat going in here, because gotta love New York weather, right? But yeah, and I got it bolted down here and cut around the pillow top that it kind of hits a little bit, but we're hitting the pillow top right here. So I marked to kind of take that off, but I think I'm just gonna bring this up, find out where the holes are, and just make a nice little angled little, you know, more refined mount for it. So that's what we're off to do today. Sorry, I know it gets loud with the heater going, but I gotta get it warm in here. Again, New York weather. It's not the warmest out today, and even when it does warm up, the moisture kicks in and it feels colder. But yeah, like I said, we left off with this. I'm gonna unbolt this. Before I do, I wanna line up, make sure things are gonna line up good, the angle I want. I already have one hole pre-drilled. I ran out of bits. I broke a bunch of them, so I had to get bits. And the last time when I was cutting this, I broke my grinder. She was like, you know, making some nasty noises. I've had it for probably about 6 to 8 years, so it was time. So I bought a new one. Sure enough, I got the same one. So let's see if I can get another 6 to 8 years out of the other one. It still grinds a little bit, but I don't feel like it's cutting like it should. So the brushes or the bearings or whatever's in it are probably shot. So anyways, yeah. So we'll get this drilled out. We'll get that one hole lined up, figure out where the caliper sits on this the best without hitting anything. With this one bolt, try to line it up for the other one, get that one done, and once I get that configured, then I can reshape this so it looks a little more, you know, sufficient and not like a big bulky piece of crap. I think this will be good. It's pretty thick metal, you know, for a plating, and we're not doing hundreds of miles an hour, so I think we should be good. So let's get started on that. All right, I got it over the bench. I got it somewhat marked off. I tried not to move it much so I can line up this next bolt. I'm gonna go a little oversized so I can have a little play on the bottom. Use the top one as a pivot point and kind of adjust a little bit at the bottom. I'm also going to, when I reshape it, do that on the plate as well, oversize a little bit, just so I can shim that way. And then all I have to do is from this way, after the plate's on, onto the putting the caliper on the rotor, I can use shims to shim it this way. I'll show you later. I know I'm probably not explaining it the greatest right now, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to try and mark this quick, get it drilled, get kind of things mocked in place, and then reshape this to cut it better so it doesn't look like a piece of crap. All right, well, sorry, I'm my own cameraman. So I got them pretty much lined up. You can see they are tilted a little bit. That's because if you look on this side, this line is hitting, so it is at a slight angle. But they're lined up good enough to where, you know, if I oversize it a little bit, put longer bolts and washers on it, it's gonna fit perfect. Now I just gotta cut this horrible mess more. Like I said, lost my grinder, so I couldn't clean up and do any more cuts. But now we know shape. Now I can kind of trace out what I want as far as shape around the caliper and get cutting. And then we'll test fit. Like I said, I might have to make a run and get longer bolts as well and some spacers to fit. So let's get going, man, because This thing's taking forever, and I know I'm being slow with it. These videos seem like things are going quick, but I mean, if you look at time lapses between some videos and this and that, yeah, it's not going as quick as I wanted. I'm going a little slow, ain't gonna lie. I don't know what I was thinking. Let's get back to it. Need my tool. I think I might modify it a little bit. Kind of looks like dog. Awful big. I don't need that much, so I might cut it, shrink it down just a little bit, just so it looks a little better. Prototype, you know, first one. Always gonna look like snot, but at least I can make it look a little better, so I'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. All right, as you can see, it looks like dog snot, but I'm gonna follow this line and make it look a little better. Makes me feel less inadequate the other way. A little jealous on the first one. Don't worry, kids, I'm a trained professional. Yeah. Anyways, clean that up, and I think I'll like that shape a lot more than the other one. Oh, didn't see you there. Let me put my thing away. So, a little bit better bracket. Still not perfect. I could take a little more off the top if I want, you know. And I could got in here a little cleaner. I didn't have a small enough wheel or anything. My air tools, I don't have the bits for anymore. I get some more. But it's good enough. Down the road, we can always redo it. I just want to get this thing running. So, bracket, we're going to put on the caliper, try to adjust some stuff, and yeah, so let's get to that now. You know the drill. I can't even turn the camera off. This is what troubles me when you're your own cameraman, you know? Trying to do some edits. I could do some funnier stuff too if I had a cameraman, but you know, I don't know. Is this about the comedy or is this about getting work done? Sometimes I can't decipher the two. So, anyways, let's get back to work. All right, we bolted her on, and I gotta say, she doesn't look too bad. Still a little misshaped, of course, but I mean, for our first one and a prototype and how quick I did it, I think she's pretty good. Bolt it up, and we'll see how the caliper sits and see how everything lines up. Once that's tight, we might have to bend it a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's right. Duh. So, I forgot, the SN swings out a little bit, so I might have to put a rubber washer in here to straighten it, or do that in the spacers to the caliper. I forgot all about that. Almost forgot about that. I got looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, the SN swings out. So yeah, we'll put a shim in there, square it back off so she sits nice and square with that rotor. So that's what I'll do now. I could do a time lapse if you really want me to do, but I don't think so. All I'm gonna do is take a straight edge with that, slide it over to the other one, and so rotor's on one side, that's on the other, straight edge is in the middle to utilize squaring it off and the gapping. So all I'm doing is sticking a straight edge in there to that, and then trying to line up this side as best I can. I got it leaning like this so you can see it, but I tip it up so it kind of goes all the way. and I used a couple washers. I have a rubber one that I'm going to put in there too as well and squeeze in on both. It'll leave a little cushion. It'll leave a little cushion, but not only that, it will help take up that little gap and have something to kind of go in. Squeeze it to kind of fine tune some stuff and everything and fill the gap. Yeah, it will have a little play, but it's caliper. As long as it squeezes, you know, it should be okay. So we'll see if I can't get something else in there. But anyways, yeah, so that's all I'm doing there. And things look pretty good. I'll let you see my final results. So I had to hone this out. It still wasn't quite there, so I had to drill in here, and now I'm going to take a flat file. Sorry, I know it's out of focus a little bit. Hang on. See if I can't get it in focus for you. Take a flat file and just file this smooth so it doesn't have that edge, if you can see it. I know my focus keeps going in and out. But yeah. And then that way it's a pivoting point. So we're getting there. But again, flat file, and then I can start lining it up more and figuring it all out. So one step closer, no steps back, hopefully. All right, so with a few washers and some adjustments, I got it. Don't mind the pounding in the background. The kid's just working on his 300ZX. So he's inside getting off some old soundproofing and stuff so we can redo stuff on the driver's side. Here we are. Clean it up. But yeah, I got them out. I have a feeling these might loosen up. So I might have to change these bolts. But we got it spaced out. And she spins. I got it. So where there's barely any drag, there is a little bit, but I can move this around and get rid of it. Again, I think I might have to make better spacers in between, but we'll try this out for now. If she comes undone, we'll just put some Loctite on with some better spacers, or even some different bolts. So snack time. While I'm snacking, let's sneak over and see what he's up to, shall we? Then we'll get back to the go-kart. Welcome to Africa, a rare sighting of a kid who's working for a living on this safari. Just kidding, but he is working. Let's see this kid in his natural habitat again, shall we? You were like, what's going on, weren't you? I was over here making fun of you. I said, let's travel to Africa and visit a kid in his natural habitat of working. Ooh, look at him work all day long. It's a rare sighting, this one. All right, back to work on the go-kart. Boy, is right. We got works to do now, don't we? I say, let's get on. All right, so now we got to mock up this front part to it. The slave cylinder-esque part. Whatever you want to call it, piston part. We're going to bolt right there and then tie this off right there. So probably have to run a couple spacers with it too, but it should work. Line it up for the brake pedal. So we're moving along. Holes are drilled. I gotta make some kind of spacers, maybe just use a couple washers for now. Let's see how she fits. All right, bolt it on. I got that far so far. Now we're gonna have to set it down, mock up where I want these pedals, get the pedal in, and then we can finish the cable hook up to that cylinder. And we'll have a break. There's not much drag. She seems to be good. It leans towards the inside of the caliper just a little bit though. I can see down it, so we'll have to shift it and shimmy it just a little bit more on that caliper so it don't wear in on the inside. But getting there. All right, now we got to figure out where to mount these pedals. I'm thinking about making some brackets right there. Then I can figure out where the spring mechanism is going to go, and I can shield off this. It's either here or here. Here I feel is a little too short, and it will bump into that, you know. Be more on that side like that. So, decisions. All right, I think we're going to try right here, and then I just got to hook up the spring mechanism now. And then I'll be able to run the cable for the gas and a rod for the brake. And we got the side holes there to hook a rod to, or I can make a new hole, but I think that'll work. They look pretty good. For me and a taller person, it might be a little cramming because your knees are going to have to come up a little high, but we'll extend the steering too. But I think that's going to work right there for the pedals. All I had to do with this kit is drill those holes. They got play. Now I just got to connect the springs so they'll return. But we'll see how that goes. If not, we'll just move them up. I'll make a couple different spots I think I got room for if we have to change. So coming along real nice, Clark, real nice. Huh there, Sparky? All right, so there's where we are at right now. I got a spring mechanism hooked up, so once I get the rod to it, it'll do that. But the only thing is, as I noticed, I wasn't paying attention, I think this is backwards, and I think it has to push it. So I might have to unbolt that, get a longer line, and bring it up and build a mount up here so the pedal attaches straight to it, and then I can push it right in from there. So so this might have to be changed, which is okay. But yeah, I'll have to, if that does go up like that, or I build like a lever system, but that might take longer than just getting a longer brake line, bringing it up and flipping that with a mount right here. I can put like a spacer here, crossed over and down, and then mount the pedal right to it, clip it, and then boom. And the spring will help bring it back to resting. And then go from there. So I think that's how I'm gonna do it. I'll probably get a longer brake line and run that up if that becomes the case. It'll be the simplest. I'll just measure out for the line and get one. It's probably gonna be costly, but it'll probably be the easiest now that I see this. Or just hand lever. I even thought about that too right there. Drift style handbrake. We'll see. I don't know what I want to do. I'll work on the gas next time too and finish up, you know, and figure out what we got to do with that. So, but yeah, this is where we're at. We're coming along. It's slowly getting there. Just odds and ends left to get totally figured out. You know, stuff I wasn't thinking about, but all right, on to the next. Until next time.